So, yep, it's confirmed. We were all duped. That person who was saying that they were Marshall and that they lost their V card on YouTube, it was never him. It was somebody pretending to be him. I guess we should have known better. I mean, this exact same thing has happened before. There was like somebody, I think it was when he still had his Darth Nihilus. Oh, wait, no, it was right when like he started like the real Joe Goldberg on YouTube. Not this channel he has like on Rumble, but like, what was it, last year or something like that? And I remember because there was one that was Marshall, then there was another one that was identical to him. Like exactly the same like handle and everything. And it was so confusing that I remember me, and I think Pebrick did too, had to tag both accounts in videos we made about Marshall because we didn't even know which one was real. So I guess we should have saw this coming. I mean, it kind of seemed like less believable as time went on. It started out like, with shock value, like, whoa, holy shit, he actually lost his V card? Who did he lose it to? How did he find a girl to do it with? To then, like, as it played out, like, it started to seem like this shit isn't true. Something's not right here. And sure enough, that was the truth. I mean, at least Marshall came out and made a video saying that, somebody was pretending to be me, and I'm really pissed off that somebody was pretending to be me on YouTube. And I guess we should have saw it coming that this wasn't actually Marshall, because Marshall said on his first Rumble video that he's not going to come back to YouTube under any circumstances. He's completely done with YouTube. He's never uploading any videos to YouTube. He was criticizing YouTube in his first Rumble video. So I guess in a way we should have seen this coming, that it wasn't actually him. But like I said, I think the shock value got all of us that, whoa, he actually lost his V card. But nope, he didn't. And he confirmed that he didn't. And I mean, I was really surprised too when I thought for like maybe about an hour that this could be true. That, like, how did this actually happen? Because I don't even give Marshall any kind of like tips, advice, nothing, make no mention about getting women, because like kind of Pebrick said in his video earlier, his like standards are so delusionally unrealistic, and like I've said before too, he wants this pure, untouched virgin who has never sucked a dick or taken it up the ass and will burp and fart on command and will wait until marriage, and that he doesn't want to do it until marriage. And, what was kind of suspect too is when I was communicating with this fake account, I kept asking, what about waiting till marriage? What happened with waiting until marriage? And this person behind the fake account would not answer that question. So that was really suspect too. Like, why wouldn't you address that? And I asked that multiple times. So yeah, it was never true. And I told Marshall also that don't trust Viking Millionaire, who I like to call Viking Fraudster, because Viking Fraudster is still going and saying that Marshall really did lose his V card. And he's just not ever going to say it. He's just going to keep pretending that he's still a virgin. And that he really did lose it. And he's just deceiving all of you by saying he's still a virgin. But in reality, he's not. I told Marshall, like, this guy's a snake and a liar, and you shouldn't trust him, because he's not on your side like you think he is. And then, like, I told Viking Fraudster that myself. And he said, oh, you better back off or Marshall's going to sue you. Sue me for what? You can't sue me for shit. So if anything, like I told him, if anything, he should be suing you for libel, because you're going around and spreading these lies. And then he came back and said some shit like, well, Marshall's my friend. He's been to a party at my house. And then, Viking Fraudster has also said shit like he bought Marshall a mansion and that it's his whenever he decides to leave his parents' house and wants to move into it. So the guy's just like trolling everyone, I think. He's not on Marshall's side. I think he just wants to stir the pot, and I pretty much told Marshall that he should ignore him. I mean, not that he's going to listen to me because he hates me, but I told him, like, it's in your best interest, honestly, to ignore that guy. But yeah, it just like, as time went on, this whole like, oh, Marshall lost his V card thing just didn't seem realistic. Also, because like we were all saying, like, why wouldn't he like immediately post to everything on like every platform he's on that he's not a virgin anymore? He found a girl and he lost his virginity. Because like with someone like Marshall, who's like made being like a virgin and a black-pilled incel his whole personal identity and personal brand, that would be the first thing that he would do after it happens. He would get right on his phone and announce it to the whole world that he just got laid for the first time ever. I mean, the fact that like this person who was saying that they were Marshall wouldn't like say it to anyone that like they lost their virginity, and they were saying like, oh, Pebrick knows. Pebrick was told some stuff, and I don't want Pebrick telling anyone. And if Pebrick keeps pushing this, then I'm going to have to make a video and reveal who I lost my V card to. I'm going to have to post a picture of her. When in reality, that didn't add up either, because Pebrick made a community post asking, like, Marshall, like, is it true that you lost your V card? What's the story behind this? And then this person on the fake account was saying that Pebrick knows like pretty much everything about it, but like if he doesn't keep it to himself and if he keeps pushing for more details, then I'm gonna have to make a video and reveal who I lost my V card to. It just didn't add up. I mean, it's kind of the thing with, like a lifelong like adult virgins, like that if you finally lose it, you're going to tell everyone. And if you have a following online, that's the immediately you're going to post about it. Because another person who is like a I guess you could say famous virgin, well, famous virgin in his own right, is this guy named Skippy Jessup, who I knew about him, I think, before Marshall, because he was on this show called TLC's Virgin Diaries. It was an actual show by the TLC cable channel. And like they featured him when he was like, I think he was like in his mid-30s at the time. He was like 35 or something like that. And he was a virgin living in his mom's basement. And he like, he made virginity like his whole personality, his whole like same kind of thing as Marshall. Whole personality, whole personal brand, everything about him revolved around the fact that he's a virgin, all that. And, he takes long breaks from YouTube. He has a YouTube channel. You can look him up. It's I Am Skippy. And I don't think he's posted videos in like 2 years. But every time he comes back from like a long break from like YouTube, people ask him, are you still a virgin? And he said, believe me, if I ever lost my virginity, like, everybody would hear about it. It would be, like, all over all my social media accounts. It'll be everywhere. I will tell the whole world, like, right after it happens that I lost my virginity. Because right now, he's, like, I think he's almost 49. He's, like, a 49-year-old virgin. And someone like that, if once it ever happens, if it does, he's gonna shout it from the hilltops. And it would have been the same with Marshall. So that shit just doesn't add up. That like virginity's been weighing on you so much, and yet you finally lose it and you don't say shit about it, and you have an online following. Yeah, that shit just doesn't add up. Like even me, I'm not a virgin. I haven't done it in a very, very long time. But if I did, I would probably say something on here. I wouldn't make a big deal about it, but I would like mention, oh yeah, I got laid for the first time in a very long time. It's been a little over a decade for me. I don't really pursue it right now. I have other things going on, and I kind of not in a good place to go look for someone. But if I did, I would probably make a mention of it. I wouldn't go probably plastering it everywhere, but I would probably address it in a video I made, like, oh yeah, I just got laid. I broke an 11-year dry spell. So it shit just doesn't add up. The more time went on about once this came out. But now it's been confirmed by Marshall himself, and I'll link that video in the description below that Marshall made on Rumble. But no, none of it's true. Viking Fraudster is still insisting it's true, and that's why Marshall shouldn't trust him. That guy doesn't have his back like he claims he does. But yeah, it wasn't true, and that also was the person that I was communicating with who said, I can't make videos because of the Canadian wildfires. So that was never Marshall saying that. That was this other person saying that. So Marshall never said that he couldn't make videos because of the Canadian wildfires. But I do think Marshall himself actually said, I can't make videos because of the heat and humidity. Because I think he might have made a TikTok post about, I'm not making videos because of the heat and humidity. I think Pebrick said something that he posted that to TikTok. So that was real. And if that actually was real, one good thing that came out of this is Marshall did have to brave the heat and humidity to go outside and make a video again to address this person who was impersonating him on YouTube, claiming he lost his V card. So I guess that's one good thing that came out of it. It made Marshall brave the heat and humidity to make a video. But anyway, yep, I just thought I would chime in on this whole thing, because that had like the whole Marshall clan like a buzz that Marshall might have lost his virginity, but no, he didn't. Nothing's really changed. He did make the new video addressing it. It was just somebody else pretending to be him. But yeah, anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say. Stay tuned. I'm still going to release part 1 of the TikTok transcript soon. Just have to cut the first 15-minute segment and upload it. This is Blazing Bad 420, and I'm out.